Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This week's tutorial is a tad bit different. We're doing a DIY instead of a Tumblr tutorial. Now, I decided to build my own glitter wall. When I was researching how to do this, I didn't really find too many tutorials based on it. So I decided that I was just going to figure this out and then pass on my knowledge to you guys. Now, I completely do not have any space for any more glitter, and I have super exciting news. So a few weeks ago, I did a review of the Wildflower Glitter Co. If you have not seen that tutorial yet, I will link it in the description box down below. But I am now a brand ambassador for them. So I will also be linking my affiliate link down in the description as well. If you purchase from this link, I do get a small commission from that. So yeah, I think that's it, you guys. Without further ado, let's get started. Okay guys, so I want to put a disclaimer on this video before I go into it. I am dealing with some power tools in this tutorial, so if you are not familiar with these power tools, please find somebody to help you. I am not going to be liable or responsible for anything that happens if you guys try this. So I have to put that out there, you know, so you'll find somebody who is knowledgeable. And yeah, let's get started, guys. All right, y'all. So obviously you want to make sure that you measure your wall before doing this step. I did not put that in this video because I did not feel that it was needed, because everybody's space and dimensions are going to be completely different. Now, I went to Lowe's and I purchased these 1x3x8 boards. I purchased 10 of them for my space, and I cut my long boards into 84 inches, and I believe my shelves were 47 inches. Also, I don't recommend doing this in flip-flops. I've grown up all my life around these power tools, so I'm comfortable with it. But if you are not, please make sure that you are wearing some tennis shoes. Also, don't make this mistake. So I didn't set aside my long pieces, and I actually cut them to be shelves, and they were not supposed to be shelves. So I went back to Lowe's and purchased 2 more boards. So just make sure that you set those aside. Now, of course, this step here is going to be completely optional. If you want the natural wood look, then you guys can go ahead and skip ahead a little bit to the building aspect of this. But I actually wanted to stain my wood. So I wiped it all down to make sure that the sawdust was gone, and then I pre-stained it. And of course, once I wiped the pre-stain off, I went ahead with my stain choice, which was supposed to be like this beautiful like brown color. Only when it came out of the can, it was more like a gray, and I was okay with it because I originally wanted gray, but then I didn't like the colors that they had at Lowe's. So it was a win-win for me. Of course, I did seal my wood with a sealer that Minwax recommended. I believe it was a polyacrylic sealer. So just to make sure if you're going to do this, that you follow the directions on the can, and you guys will be good to go. Now that my boards are dry, we're ready to put our frame together. I'm using a 7/64 drill bit here to pre-drill my holes. You want to make sure that you do this, especially on boards this small, because then when you go to screw these screws in, they're going to go in perfectly, and you're not going to strip any of your boards. So I put 2 all the way around for my frame, and then when I went in to measure each board as I placed it, I only put 1 screw in the middle because we're going to be using this for glitter. So there's really not going to be anything super heavy on here. So I did not feel the need to have that second screw. Now, of course, once I was done, I stood this completely up and used my level on each shelf to make sure it was completely even and ready to go. All right, guys, so I have it completely built, and what I'm gonna end up doing now is taking those little brackets and putting these on all four corners, and then obviously in the very middle here, and then my husband is going to help me take it upstairs before we do anything in the middle, because we want to make sure that we get this put into a stud so that it does not go anywhere. So I'm still including this in this tutorial just so you guys can kind of see this, but putting these brackets on outside was actually a complete waste of my time. So I would actually wait to put these brackets on, guys, because obviously if you want to go and pre-drill your holes for them, by all means, please do that. But we actually brought this thing upstairs, and me and my husband both learned that our house is crooked. So they completely built this wall crooked, so there was not a stud where there should have been a stud. It was a complete and total mess. So of course we had to use the drywall anchors for all four of these corners, and of course the middle. So we did have to end up taking off of these brackets anyway so that we could get those anchors into the wall. Now we got lucky going down the middle of the wall because there was a stud there. So we did put a bracket on each shelf going down, and those we were actually able to drill into a stud. But at the end of the day, guys, my glitter wall is up and it is perfect and it's amazing. And now I can actually look at that glitter wall and say, I built that even though my husband hanged it. So yeah, I hope that this tutorial is super helpful for you guys. If you have any questions whatsoever for me, make sure that you leave them down in the description box below. If I don't know the answer, I will most definitely ask my husband. I'm pretty sure that he would have an answer for you guys. Here she is, you guys. Everything worked out in the end, even though my house ended up being completely crooked, which you can see here. And I am so happy with how this project came out. Huge shout out to my KS exclusive members. Thank you guys so much for your pledge. I am so grateful for every single one of you guys. Thank you. If you like this tutorial, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Also hit the bell button so you're notified every time I upload a new tutorial. Also, find me on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and TikTok. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next week.